But I want to go and offer up the Kathab reading is going to come from Isaiah. What was it? Isaiah 46, I think it is.
Slovakia. Just I had a quick question regarding the word car.
Yes, sir. You want
So
to go?
it, in the text, it says Armageddon, but in some other translations of the book, it says Har Megiddo. Is there a mountain called
Khan.
Magad or something like that?
Khan. The pagans are trying to. Again, that's a great proof text of what we're saying. How they talk about we make up words, and they a couple years ago they came up with that phrase ebonics. You guys, these people, these European schools, these Greek schools have been making up words. So Armageddon, they're trying to say the mountain of Megiddo, Har Megiddo, or I'm not sure if it's Megiddo. I would have to look for it. If you guys want to use a resource, Bible Atlas and Bible maps, a lot of them have the ancient names of the places. So that place is not the battle of Armageddon. It's the battle on the mountain of Megiddo, or we have to find out what the original name. But the point you're making is correct. That is a mountain. They're supposed to say Har Megiddo or whatever that original word was. So what the point you're making is valid. That's a mountain. That's a mountain. Any other comments or questions about Har? All right. So our Kathab is coming from Yasha 46. Was it? Did I pull 46? Uh, 46, 3 to 4. And can you pull it through from the Septuagint? Because it reads better. Those of you who don't have the Septuagint, you can follow along with the Masoretic, and you're going to see there's a slight difference, but that slight difference makes a world of difference. Remember, close only counts in hand grenades and horseshoes. When it comes to the word of Yah, we don't want to be close. We want to be precise. We want to be laser sharp on point with these prophecies. So this is Yashayahu 46 verses 3 to 4 for our Kathab.
It says, Hear me, O house of Yaqub, and all the remnant of Yasharallah, who are born by me from the womb, and taught by me from infancy even to old age. I am he, and until ye have grown old, I am he. I bear you, I have made, and I will relieve. I will take up and save you.
All praise to the great I am. This is a promise that no one can hijack from us. No one can take this from us. He says, I have carried you. I have borne you. I'm going to carry you even to old age. He's referring to the nation. He's referring not to a man. He's referring to the nation of Israel. He's going to carry us to the end, to the very end. And we're getting closer and closer to the end. This war in Iraq is just for us it's the writing on the walls. If you compare it to the Masoretic, you see a slight difference. And let me get up. I was trying to multitask here. Um, so in the Masoretic text, it's not bad. It's not bad what it's saying. So it's not the worst translation, but it's not lining up with what the Septuagint is offering. So in the Masoretic or the KJV, it says, Hearken unto me, O house of Jacob, and all the remnant of the house of Israel, which are born by me from the belly, which are carried from the womb. And even to your old age I am he, and even to your hoar hairs, your old age, or gray hairs, will I carry you. I have made you, and I will bear you, even I will carry you, and will deliver you. And then where's the one? Read yours again, Ogden Septuagint.
Hear me, O house of Yaqub, and all the remnant of Yasharallah who are born by me from the womb, and taught by me from infancy even to old age. That's 46 and 3.
So it's not a bad translation. It's just the Septuagint is giving it more context, and this is something that we're seeing. All praises to the great I am. A lot of us here on this call, we're actually walking epistles. You know, the Most High put on my heart a couple years ago, walking epistles. Y'all willing, I'll make some garments soon. But we are walking epistles. We are walking prophecies because many of us on this call, we are one of a family. Like, you know, we're all Yasharallah. We know we're all family. We're all Israelites, Hebrews. But I'm talking about of our immediate families here in captivity. Many of us are just one of the family. The rest of the family are still either lost in the world, just doing what they want to do, or lost in Christianity, well, still doing what they want to do. So we're seeing the Most High is carrying us even to the old age of our nation. He's going to be there for us. All praise to the great I am for his oaths and covenants. We any comments about that prophecy there before we get into this chapter 61? So, y'all willing, today I want to cover Isaiah 61. And Isaiah prophesied for many years. These chapters we know are man-made, but he was prophesying for the lengths of kings, And chapter 61 is a famous chapter. And the church, the Christians have hijacked this. And we're going to just slowly show that this Isaiah 61 is just for Israelites, just for us. Just for us. So again, for the sake of just being more precise, we're going to read this from the Septuagint. If you don't have a Septuagint, don't fret. There's online resources. If you want to compare it to the Masoretic, you'll see, or you'll soon see why we prefer the Septuagint when it comes to these prophecies. Let's get into Isaiah 61. This is Oaths and Covenants.
Isaiah chapter 61, verse 1. Harawat la Yahweh is upon me, the spirit of Yahweh is upon me, because he has anointed me. He has sent me to preach glad tidings to the poor, to heal the broken in heart, and to proclaim liberty to the captives, and recovery of sight to the blind, to declare the acceptable year of Yahweh and the day of recompense, to comfort all that mourn.
So anybody except Shemariah, where can we find this in the collections of the writings? Where else can we find this? Where else can we find this? Anybody but Shemariah. Who else said this prophecy or said this in the so-called New Testament?
Hamashiach said it.
Hamashiach said this. Let's go pull it from the so-called New Testament. Let's go to Luke. Was it Luke 19? And the church teach this and preach this like Messiah fulfilled this. But this is a perfect proof text how we've been saying over the years. The Most High's prophecies go in cycles. It goes in cycles throughout generations. And I want to show you what I mean. So when our King came the first time in the flesh, he gave this prophecy. And people, the Christian religion says, oh, this Isaiah prophecy has been fulfilled by Messiah. And I'm going to show you that that's not necessarily the truth. Is it Luke 4:19, I believe it is, or I transpose my chapters all the time. I thought it was Luke 4:19 or 19:04.
It's 4 and 18.
4:18. So we're gonna read this where Messiah said this, and we're gonna put the cultural context back in this place and show you why Christianity is so erroneous. Luke 4:18 out.
Luke 4, verse 18 says, the Spirit of Yahweh is upon me, because he have anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor. He have sent me to heal the brokenhearted, to preach deliverance to the captives, and recovering of sight to the blind, to set at liberty them that are bruised, to preach the acceptable year of Yahweh. And he closed the book, and he gave it again to the minister, and sat down. And the eyes of all of them that were in the synagogue were fastened on him. And he began to say unto them, this day is this scripture fulfilled in your ears.
All praise to the great I am. So the verse that we truncated or clipped off is verse 17. And it says, and there was delivered unto him, Messiah, the book of the prophet Isaiah. And it's really hard to really visualize this. The scrolls were not labeled with chapters. How these Bibles are. So he went, this is the power of the Most High on him. He went right to the point of the scroll where Isaiah wrote this. Because when they wrote scrolls, they wasn't writing chapter 1, 2. They just, as the Most High gave them utterance, they recorded. So Messiah, being full of the power of his Father, he picked up the scroll and went right to the point where we're just reading. And I know it's hard, but that's the power of Yah right there. But the point I want to highlight is the church read this and they believe that that's Messiah's job, is to heal the brokenhearted, to release those in prison houses. And then they hit you with that exegesis. Oh, I was in the prison house of drugs. I was in the prison house of fornication. You're in the prison house of sin. And it gets people stirred up because a lot of us have experienced these shortcomings. A lot of us have been drunkards and drug addicts and whoremongers. So when they start preaching like that, it gets people emotionally stirred up. Christ came to set us free. He came to set us free. He came to set us You don't have to be bound by sin anymore. And it makes everyone feel good, especially when they hitting that A flat. You got that little broke wrist organist over there smacking his lips and all that mess. But culturally, this is about you and I. How do I know this? Well, you just go back to the beginning of Isaiah. Isaiah tells you his audience before he starts recording. If you go back to Isaiah chapter 1, he identifies who he's writing to. Let's go back and get Isaiah's audience. He tells us it's not a mystery. You don't have to go to cemetery school to understand this. Isaiah 1:1, he tells you what this prophecy is all about.
The vision of Yashiah, the son of Amas, saw, which he saw against Yahweh and against Yerushalayim in the reign of Ozias, Jotham, and Achaz, and Ezekiel's, who reigned over Yahweh.
So he's telling you before he starts recording, these are the visions, the prophecies I seen against the nation. He says Judah and Israel, we know historically because our nation was split into two kingdoms. So he's telling you, I'm about to prophesy as the Most High is giving me utterance against these two kingdoms, the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. So you can't take me to Isaiah 46 and then you can't have Messiah quote that Isaiah verse and tell me that this is about born again Christians who have given up their sinful life. You don't even have understanding what sin is. This is about you and I, the Most High restoring our nation, the Most High restoring our depressed state. To this day, as my man said, to this day, the nation of Yasharallah, we're spread out into the four corners, subjected to these kingdoms. So this is an oath and covenant about us being released from our servitude, being released from the prison houses of these nations. Right as we speak, we're under their thumb, working 40 hours a week. I know it seems like, oh, you ain't got to work if you don't want to work, then how I'm going to eat? So it's like people come up with these little snide remarks like, well, we are under subjection. We have to go to our enemy for everything. Even if we do get a business like where we have a grocery store, who's our supplier? Who we paying taxes to? So even if we do become air quotes entrepreneurs here, you're still under the thumb of this government. So this prophecy about opening up the blind eye, the brokenhearted, those in the prison houses, this is an oath and covenant for us. The church can't hijack this anymore. The Most High is opening up our hearts and our eyes for understanding. To get more, let's go back to Isaiah 50, because the second part of this, as we say, these prophecies of the Most High come in cycles. So the church the church can purport to be, correct and accurate. They want to say, oh, Messiah fulfilled that when he stood to read this. But this was a prophecy that comes in cycles. And now it's on us. The spirit of Yah is on us, and we're preaching to the blind now. We're telling them Christmas is not in the Bible. We're telling them right now, y'all getting ready to celebrate Easter. Easter is not of the Most High. Eggs is not of the Most High. So this prophecy is on us right now as we speak. My proof text, let's go back to Isaiah 59. Isaiah 59. We're going to prove everything with scripture. That's what we do. We give 2 or 3 witnesses. You got something up?
Also, too, he stopped at that point and closed the book because it's other parts of the prophecy that is not going to be fulfilled until he comes back. So he didn't, it's not for the ones that say it's like, oh, this already happened. He only spoke of the beginning part, like you're speaking about, preaching to basically waking up the lost sheep, just to keep it simple for the people.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And now this is, and I hope I'm not going, I know I may be going over people's heads. What I'm highlighting here is how the Christian religion says that Christ fulfilled all these prophecies. And that's one of their in their minds, that's one of the proof texts that all that old covenant stuff has been fulfilled. And that's why Messiah closed the book, because he's fulfilled the Old Testament. What I'm telling you is that's a lie. He didn't put that scroll down because he fulfilled all the old covenant. He put that scroll down because, like Shemariah says, he know there's things more that's to come in the future. And what I'm about to show you is he didn't fulfill everything, because we're, to this day, as me and you are here on this live, we are preaching to the brokenhearted. We are preaching to the captives. This prophecy is on us in our time right now. My proof text is in Isaiah 59, and I want to just, I don't want to rush it. Can we back it up to verse 16, 59:16, and then close out the chapter?
Septuagint, right?
Yes, sir.
And he looked, and there was no man, and he observed, and there was none to help. So he defended them with his arm and established them with his mercy.
So for those who don't understand the Hebrewisms here, the Most High is saying, I looked at the nation of Israel, and there was nobody to help my people. There was nobody to resurrect my people. There was nobody to encourage my people. So the Most High looked, and with his arm, he brought them help. Who is the arm of Yah, everybody?
Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh Shah is the arm of Yah. This is a Hebrewism. So it's the Most High looking over his people, seeing that, man, there's nobody to help my people. I'm going to send with my arm, or with my son, I'm going to send them help. Read on out.
And he put on righteousness as a breastplate, and placed the helmet of salvation on his head. And he clothed himself with the garment of vengeance, and with his cloak, as one about to render a recompense, even to reproach his adversaries.
So Messiah is putting on war gear. He's not coming down here with a arm full of a bouquet full of roses and giving out hugs as the Christians purport. Oh, when I see Jesus, hey, man. No, when you see Messiah, it's going to be war. He's putting on war clothes to repay our enemies. They don't talk like this because they don't have no understanding. The Most High is not in these churches. It's time for us to be big boys and girls and tell the truth. Ain't no power of Yah in these churches. That's why they can't understand this. The king we waiting on ain't coming down here with smiles and roses and hugs and kisses. He's coming to repay what they did to his brothers and sisters. You got a hand up. Let me calm down, man. I'm in war mode. Let me calm down. Bless you, Jesus. Hallelujah.
God, I just two things. I posted John chapter 14 where Yahushua was saying, if you believe that me and the Father are one, if you pray to the Father, the works that I'm doing, you're gonna do even greater works. And I'm paraphrasing. But I was gonna ask, did you want to are you gonna go over that phrase, the acceptable year again?
Yeah, we're
Because I
going.
was just talking, okay, I was about to say I was just talking to Sister Joyce about this the other day, and I was saying how eloquent it was the way you worded it. And all praise to Abba Yah, he put it on your heart to bring it back out. But I'll yield again.
Yeah, we're gonna go back to Isaiah 61. I just wanna share with the Mashapak how this prophecy about healing the brokenhearted and the captives is not about born again believers. It's about the nation of Yasharala. And I know some of the brothers really get kind of indignant how they present it, and it really cuts people the wrong way. But no matter how we deliver this truth, the Most High's truth is going to cut. I don't swing the sword to cut. It's just I'm using the sword. I don't have to put any force on this. When we bring this truth, the Most High's word is going to cut people. So I know some of the brothers are very brash and very just coarse with their delivery. But no matter how you deliver this information, the true gospel is going to cut these people. The acceptable year, all this is about us. It's not about the Christian church. It's not about believers. It's about the Most High's hidden ones. We are these people. So yeah, we're going to get there, out. Where we at, out?
Verse 19, so shall they of the west fear the name of Yahweh, and they that come from the rising of the sun, his glorious name. For the wrath of Yahweh shall come as a mighty river, it shall come with fury. And the deliverer shall come for Tazawan's sake, and shall turn away ungodliness from Yaqub. And this shall be my covenant with them, saith Yahweh, my spirit which is upon you, and the words which I have put in your mouth shall never fail from your mouth, nor from the mouth of your seed,
From who?
nor from the mouth of your seed, for Yahweh has spoken it henceforth and forever.
This is my proof text. This is how we use the text to substantiate our position. We don't just say things that sound so good and sound bite. That prophecy that this is the acceptable year to preach the gospel of the Most High, that prophecy was not fulfilled and done away with when Messiah read it in his time. We're doing the same thing right now. The Spirit of Yah is upon us. And we're telling people, hey, time is running out. You better come back to these law, statutes, and commandments. This is a proof text. Anybody see or any questions about that? Now, I want to go back because something I caught earlier when I was preparing my notes. And if you got the Masoretic text, this is why we prefer the Septuagint, especially when it comes to the prophecies. I'll read your verse. Where is it at? I have the Masoretic here. Where is it at? Read verse 20 again. Read verse 20 again in your Septuagint.
Con, and the deliverer shall come for Zion's sake, and shall turn away ungodliness from Yaqub.
So the Septuagint says that the Redeemer shall come for Zion's sake. Is that what you read out?
Yeah, the deliverer shall come for Zion's sake.
The deliverer shall come for Zion's sake. The KJV, what we call the Masoretic text written by wicked Talmudists who hate Messiah, they said that, and the Redeemer shall come to Zion. The Redeemer shall come to Zion. It's a subtle difference, but there's a difference. The Septuagint, which was written by legal Levites who didn't have opportunity to reject Messiah because the Septuagint predates Messiah's birth. And these righteous Levites didn't have an opportunity to reject him because he hadn't come yet. Versus these wicked Masoretes, who we call Talmudists, they hate the one we are waiting on. So they say that he's going to come to Zion. But the righteous elder says the deliverer is coming for Zion's sake. It's a subtle difference, but it's a powerful difference. The redeemer or the deliverer is coming for Zion's sake. Where else do we hear this language, for Zion's sake? There's many other witnesses. I'm thinking of the one in Romans. Romans 9, anybody? Let's get it up.
Con.
This is how we know that Apostle Paul wasn't preaching some new gospel. Apostle Paul knew the prophecies. So the Septuagint is bringing us closer to the Most High's word that this deliverer, this redeemer is coming for Zion's sake, not for the world's sake. And now Paul says it in Romans 9. You know what I'm looking for. It starts at 4 or 3.
It says, verse 3, for I could wish that myself were accursed from Hamashiach for my brethren, my kinsmen according to the flesh, who are the Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption and to the glory and the covenants and the giving of the law and the service of Yah and the promises, whose are the fathers, and of whom concerning the flesh Christ came.
Say what?
Whom's concerning the flesh Christ came.
This is the same language as Isaiah in the Septuagint. That's why the Septuagint is more powerful. It really unlocks the Most High's covenants to us. Isaiah, who pretty much is a ventriloquist for Abba, the Most High is telling Abba, or Salakia, Abba is telling Isaiah, for Zion's sake, I'm sending help. For Zion's sake, I'm sending a deliverer. And Paul confirms this, telling us in Romans 9, for the sake of the flesh, Christ came. Meaning that if it wasn't for the Israelites, the Son wouldn't have put on that earth suit. If it wasn't for us Israelites and the Most High loving us, wanting us to be with him, our King wouldn't have put on that earth suit. He took a demotion for us. And so that's why these oaths and covenants is more real to us. All this going on, the war, to this day, these people are claiming, usurping our oaths and covenants. And now you got my son and other people's sons and daughters fighting, but you're fighting because of these oaths and covenants belong to us. I'm gonna get out your back. I feel my spirit rising. Any comments or questions about that? All right, now let's go back and finish Isaiah 61 and get into, like Nariah was saying, the acceptable year and make some sense out of that.
Isaiah 61 and 2 says, to declare the acceptable year of Yahweh and the day of recompense, to comfort all that mourn, that there should be given to them that mourn in Tazawan glory instead of ashes, the oil of joy to the mourners, the garment of glory for the spirit of heaviness, and they shall be called generations of righteousness, the planting of Yahweh for glory. So
this is when we have to put the cultural undertones, or I should say overtones, back into the text. When you put Isaiah 61 and 2 back into our original tongue, to proclaim the acceptable year of Yahweh and the day of vengeance of our power, to comfort all that mourns. The Hebrew word for year, there's a word we have that the pagans translated as year. Our word is Shana. And yes, Shana can be used for a year, but Shana has the connotation of cycle or repeating. So this is the acceptable return. This is the acceptable return of the Most High coming back to his people. Versus this is the acceptable year, like 2027 or 2026. No. This is the acceptable return of the Father to his people. Father, help me. This is the acceptable, because of what I'm going to do. I'm going to send your help. I'm going to send my son. And what the works my son is going to do is going to yield as an acceptable, I can return to my people. I'm going to get out your way. Where we at?
Verse 4. And they shall build the old waste places. They shall raise up those that were before made desolate, and shall renew the desert cities, especially those that have been desolate for many generations.
So everything about the church is new covenant, new kingdom. And Most High is saying we're not building anything new. We're restoring the old cities that were destroyed by war. Because of y'all sin, I allowed these enemies to come in and destroy y'all places. Now, because I'm returning to y'all, now because I'm returning my glory to y'all, now because I'm returning my protection, future generations are going to rebuild these waste places. This is you and I. Read on up.
And they shall build the old waste places, and they shall raise up those that were before made desolate, and shall renew the desert cities, especially those that have been desolate for many generations. And strangers shall come and feed your flocks, and aliens or strangers shall be your plowmen and vine dressers.
Strangers being our vine dressers and plowmen, what does that sound like?
Servants.
That's servants. That's the Most High turning the tides. That's the Most High restoring our rightful positions. We are Yashar Allah. We are the princes that rule with Yah. We have no business in fields. We have no business in plants at midnight, working midnight at graveyard shift to 6 in the morning, and your wife and children home unprotected. How backwards is this world? Now this is the Most High restoring us. This is restoration for his people. So the church want to take the first part of Isaiah 61, and because Messiah quoted, you want to put it on your religion, but you don't keep going because this don't fit your religion of Christianity. This is nothing new. This is restoration. Your new covenant, your new kingdom church, your kingdom, all this new stuff they got. This is the old waste place being restored. This is the old people who have been downtrodden, called niggers and spicks and wetbacks. This is the holy people being resurrected. This is the great exceeding army being resurrected. This is for you and I. This is going to happen in our time. Where we at?
Verse 6. But ye shall be called priests of Yahweh, the ministers of Elohim, and ye shall eat the strength of nations, and shall be admired because of their wealth. Thus shall they inherit the land a second time, and everlasting joy shall be upon their head.
They don't have everlasting joy right now. These people, again, we mentioned it last week. We're just going to keep rehearsing it. These people are fleeing. You're telling me you are the people of God, and this is your land of milk and honey, and you can't buy a ticket, airplane, a flight fast enough to get out of there. The Most High says our joy is going to be overflowing. The wine is going to be overflowing. The feast, their mirth, their happiness is going to be endless. This is oaths and covenants. This is why we're not fearing their economy. Gas prices right now, you spend $20, your tank is laughing at you. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not worried about anything. They say inflation is through the roof. A dollar ain't but what, 20 cents right now. I ain't worried about none of that. Our oaths and covenants is not dependent on their economy. Don't you for 1 minute start fretting over your bank account, over your job. Don't fret. We got some oaths and covenants. The Most High ain't considered Babylon at all. He ain't considered America at all when he gave these oaths and covenants to us. Our oaths and covenants is not dependent on their system. Where we at, Ab?
For I am Yahweh who love righteousness and hate robberies of injustice. And I will give their labor to the just, and I will make an everlasting covenant with them. And their seed shall be known among the nations, among the Gentiles, and their offspring in the midst of peoples. Every one that sees them shall take notice of them, that they are a seed blessed of the Most High.
Everyone's going to recognize that's an Israelite. That's a son of Yah. That's a daughter of Yah. They are the holy people. And we're seeing it right now. There's more. I'm telling you, Mashapop, my YouTube algorithm, is fixed on, how there's Gentiles. There's Gentile preachers saying those people are not Jews. Those people are not Israelites. So the east winds are blowing. The Most High is going to put his glory back on us, and everyone around us going to be like, that's a holy man. That's a holy woman. They are the real people. We just have to wait and be patient. Not our will, the Most High will be done. He's going to put his glory back on us. It's going to be evident. These people, it comes to find out everything wicked in this world, these fish people are behind it. And we don't have to go into the graphic nastiness, because the Most High says things they do in the dark shouldn't be spoken of. But just everything evil, all these snares that many of us fell victim to, these fish people are behind it, making millions off this stuff. Read on out.
They shall regret, and they shall greatly rejoice in Yahweh. Let my soul rejoice in Yahweh, for he has clothed me with the robe of salvation and the garment of joy. He has put the mitre on me as the bridegroom. He has put the mitre on me as on a bridegroom, and adorned me with ornaments as a bride. And as the earth putting forth her flowers, and as a garden its seed, so shall Yahweh, especially Yahweh, cause righteousness to spring forth, and exaltation before all the nations.
All praises to the great I am, Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai. This is happening right now. We seem like we're just little here in Greensboro, little in Raleigh, we got little in Charlotte, but around the world, and no, yes, we do have opportunities. It just, that's what we got to deal with. It's just who we are as a people. Yes, there's some opportunists out here want to, fulfill the lust of their flesh. They want to, sell their merchandise and goods and profit off of this awakening, or whatever you want to call it. It's just what we got to deal with. But we're springing up. We're springing up all over this earth, and we're telling the people we are the people of covenant. We are the people that fit these curses. And no, we're all not singing the same tune. We all don't have the same calendar. It's evident that we are scattered and destroyed. It only makes sense that we don't have the same calendars. It only makes sense that we can't speak our language fluently. All these parameters that people try to scoff at us, you don't understand. You're proving our point that we are the lost sheep who have lost our way. The fact that I can't speak my native tongue fluently. The fact that we got all kind of different count. Let's just Barak Yah that his people are coming back, searching for the ancient paths. We're springing up as the earth is waking back up right now. We're seeing the pretty colors come back. That's Yasharallah. That's our nation. So this whole Isaiah 61 that the Christians have hijacked, they stop at 61 and 2 because it fits their theology. But when you keep going, the Most High says we are rebuilding the waste places. I'm restoring the covenant to my people. I'm putting my glory back. The Gentiles are going to say they are blessed. The Gentiles are going to say they are the holy ones. These are oaths and covenants. This whole chapter is enough to keep us going to the very end. All praise to the great I am. We don't have no reason to be fearing. I don't care what your financial situation is. I don't care what your job situation is. Put your mind, put your soul in these covenants. daily. Don't let the enemy distract you with what's going on in their world. We're not in their world. We're not in their world. All praise to the great I am. Any comments or questions about Isaiah 61?